Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel today. Today I will be talking to you guys all about Dexcom. And specifically, although this is not just a video where I'm going to bitch about Dexcom, but it's going to be my number one issue that I have with Dexcom, in hopes that maybe someone from Dexcom will see this video, maybe enough viewers will see this video and like it and send it around to where Dexcom will get wind of it and maybe make some changes. If you are new to my channel, my name's Olivia. I am a type 1 diabetic of over 20 years. And in that 20 years, I've done my best to make living with type 1 diabetes more enjoyable and more sustainable. So I started creating content here on YouTube to help other diabetics do the same. I know that in my time with diabetes, I've tried to find other YouTube creators on YouTube to motivate me and inspire me to do better. So I hope that I can serve as that for someone else. I am currently on the Omnipod 5 insulin pump, which I've created a lot of content about, and I'm also on the Dexcom G7. So that is specifically what I'll be talking with you guys about today, about my latest gripe with this product. So I've been on Dexcom for off and on for about 8 years. Since I started having children 4 years ago, I have continuously been on the Dexcom. I've been on the G6 and now the G7. I started the G7 about a year ago. I love the product. I can't say enough good things about it. I think it's fantastic the way that the sensor and transmitter are one product. I will actually open it and show you what I'm talking about. If you're not familiar with the G6, you used to have to purchase the transmitter and the sensor separate. So it was twice as expensive and twice as many parts to keep track of, whereas everything is right here that you need for the product now in this little pod. So this is how you put it on your body. If you open it up, that in there is the sensor and the transmitter. You pop it on and you're good to go. And then it also comes with an overlay patch, which I also really enjoy because I've always had the problem with Dexcom where my sensors fall off. Specifically the G6, it was a little bit bulkier, so my G6 fell off a lot. I felt like I was always on the phone with Dexcom getting replacements sent out. And that's what leads me to what my biggest gripe is with Dexcom. And I decided to make this video today because I received this pod in the mail because last week, 2 of my pods fell off, 2 of my sensors. So after a few days of using, they fell off. I called Dexcom up. I told them that they fell off. One popped off and the other one just kind of just stopped working, tore off. I called them up on the phone. I gave them all the information they need for both of these sensors, and they said that I only qualified for 1 replacement. Now, I want to preface that by saying years prior to this, whenever a sensor fell off or you had an issue with the sensor, they would send you a goodwill replacement to your door. And I remember when I was pregnant, I wore the Dexcom G6 on my belly and it was always falling off, and they just continuously would send me replacements, which I really appreciated because all in all, I spend a lot of money for these diabetic devices, as I'm sure all of you do as well. So long story short, Dexcom this past year has decided to make it where you have a limit of how many goodwill replacements you will get. And when you think of that, you're probably thinking, okay, like I'm sure they gave you a few of them. 3, which I don't feel like is a lot. And that's not by the calendar year. That is based on 12 months of when you've requested goodwill replacements. So the woman informed me that you have used 2 goodwill replacements already within the past 12 months. You have 1 left over you can use. I'll send you 1 replacement for the 2 sensors you lost. And I just find that 3 is not enough. When you're thinking about the fact that you're changing this thing out every 10 days, which means you're going through nearly almost 40 of these a year, that the anticipation, I would imagine that most people have more than just 3 falling off in a year. And I understand that I'm sure they changed this policy because people were taking advantage of the situation and the system and getting free devices constantly sent to them. Some people who are loyal customers should not be treated with those restrictions because I find that 3 is just unbelievable. So now, even though my Dexcom is on auto ship for every 90 days, I will be short at the end of those 90 days because of the whole goodwill replacement situation because both of my Dexcoms fell off within the first day or two. So now I'm going to be shy at the end of my 90 days, and I'm going to have to go without the Dexcom because of that. Now, I don't know what I recommend Dexcom doing because I understand that they have to treat everyone the same, and that some people abuse the system, some people don't. However, I feel that 3 Goodwill replacements is not nearly enough to justify the number of sensors that we diabetics use in a year. 37 we use in a year, and you figure they're only going to give us 3 replacements if they fall off. And that means if they fall off, if they fail, if there's a technical issue. And I know that has happened almost every time now where I am short my 90-day supply because of my Dexcoms giving me issues. So I'm really hoping that this video is very short and sweet. I'm hoping that the diabetic community can band together and try to get to Dexcom about bettering the system, because I can't be the only type 1 diabetic out there getting screwed over by Dexcom. I will say Omnipod 5, I have them as well. They're a lot better about sending you replacements out for your pods. I can't praise Omnipod enough. I've had a very wonderful experience with them. I've posted a ton of content about Omnipod 5 if you want to check out what my experience has been. And for the most part, as in the product, I do enjoy Dexcom. It has made a world of a difference with me living with type 1 diabetes, especially now that I have 2 children and I'm expecting my 3rd one in January. So being said, Dexcom has made a huge difference. I just wish that they were better their replacement system, because while I understand they did better their product, the G7 does fall off significantly less than the G6. It is still bound to fall off more than 3 times a year. So I feel 3 Goodwill replacements is not enough, and it's just setting some diabetics up for failure, especially because this is a prescription program we get this for through. So you don't want to run shy. And it's happened a few times now where I have to go back to finger sticking a few days at the end of the month to account for the fact that my Dexcom had failed or fallen off. So that is what I think about that. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, opinions on this topic, please leave them in the comments below. Please give this video a big thumbs up, and hopefully it will push out to the diabetic community and we can try to get some leeway with Dexcom to try to better their process, because I used to really appreciate the fact that they would always send Goodwill replacements out, but now that they have lowered the standard to 3 per 12 months, I just feel that's a little bit stingy on their part and they need to do a little bit better. But thank you guys for coming in to my video today and checking me out. Like I said, it's a very short and sweet video. As a disclaimer, I do enjoy Dexcom, as I mentioned. This is not me saying don't use Dexcom or anything of this sort. I just am very upset with the latest processes that they have changed. Anywho, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your beautiful day. As you can see, I am working my fall vibes. It is officially October, so I am just ready for Halloween, and my kids are too. I'm so excited for it, even though I can't have regular candy. But despite that, I'm so excited. So anyway, you guys have a great, great day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.